And I would
Yeah.
like to ask you, who is Pedro?
Pedro is Dutch and Portuguese. So I was born and raised in the Netherlands. My mother is Portuguese. My father is Dutch. I live in a small town nearby The Hague. Um, and I love cooking. I love rum, the spirit. I love to read, especially nonfiction on history, essentially. And that's me. I think um, I'm open, transparent, have a sense of humor, um, and I love being interacting with people and engaging with people in all kinds of things and walks of life. What else do you want to know?
I
Um,
I love nonfiction and historic nonfiction, so maybe I'd like to ask you what are some of your recommendations, some of your favorites?
okay, for sure. So one of the things I was reading recently was a history on sugar. So the sugar trade and sugar production. So it has uh, well, sugar is also related to a lot to the bad things on slavery, plantation, slave trade, and other things on obesity, etc. But it brings you really back from the start where sugar was cultivated in Papua New Guinea to the Arab world to the New World being South America, etc. So I love reading those kind of nonfiction, and I think I've read them all from all commodities, from cotton to coffee to tea to sugar, etc. But it gives you a bit of a deep dive into history and global context, and still how it is playing out today. Because if you look at sugar, the same goes. A lot of the production takes place in the Caribbean and South America, notably Brazil,
Yeah, yeah.
and see what was decided many years ago still has an impact, good and bad, in today's world.
Yeah, that
So
is
those.
fascinating. I never thought about it, but for sure, sugar has been so important in the world. When we look at history, it's so relevant when in
Yeah,
terms of obviously colonization and the
yeah,
exploitation of people that were
correct.
colonized. And I think you talked a little bit about it, but I'm not sure if you have anything to add in terms of what drives you and what are your passions.
Make a difference every day, and I always say that I want to come home and tell a story of what I've done today. And when I'm old and looking back at life, I'm proud of what I've done and what I've contributed to the world. It sounds a bit like the perfect answer, but it's actually that's it. It's like I want to do something like, okay, this is what I've done. And a lot of people love what they're doing. So if you want to be an accountant or whatever, it's fine. But I can't imagine what I would say to myself, what I've done, say, looking back through the years of life and career, maybe. So yeah, I think that's essentially it. And I'm passionate about what I call then a fair and sustainable society, and then working what I've done over many years, working through the lens of or the topic of entrepreneurship, and then understanding how does the world actually work, really works, what can businesses do, and supported by other institutions in making it a fair and sustainable ecosystem in the world. Um, and I think that for me is the passion where I always have ideas and come to life, so to speak.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. And I think you're going to find in this organization a lot of like-minded people.
Good.
Which is always nice.
Yeah.
And then I follow up to my next question. What made you join the Clean Network?
Um, Essentially, the mission of Euclid Network in what you're doing in supporting and strengthening social entrepreneurs. And that concept, what I believe, that impact comes first if you have a business. And then, of course, it's about revenue, profit, but essentially the business is set up for with an impact focus. I think that will grow exponentially in the coming years. And personally, maybe the future of setting up a business, I think in 10 or 15 years' time, will be more on, okay, what is my impact? What is my purpose as a entrepreneur? Instead of, okay, how can I increase my sales or sell a product, which is part of a business, part of doing business, but essentially it will be much bigger with the impact focus as well, integrated into your business day-to-day activities. So when you start drafting, okay, I want to start a business, impact will be included in that. And I think that will be 90% of all business will have that in the future to come. And it's already here, and it's already, let's say, accelerating. So I think that's, for me, to be part of that drive, essentially made me to join the Euclid network. And then I'm privileged to contribute my knowledge on entrepreneurship and my expertise on how to build partnerships, um, and energy, what I have, to the Euclid network's mission. And then hopefully I can learn, and I guess I will, from a dedicated team and network at Euclid. So for me, it's one thing what I can share and what I can give, but the other thing is also what the team can share with me, so that I can learn on the topic of social enterprise.
Yeah, I think hopefully there'll be a lot of incredible sharing in terms of that topic, and also I think you can learn a lot from our members that are obviously working in the different European countries and teach us a lot every day.
Yeah,
And what would you say has been your biggest success so far?
it's a very difficult question. Um, and
Just
I think,
giving you a great opportunity to brag.
yeah. Well, success, then I would change the success into what made me more, or what made me proud. Then maybe that's a more fitting term. Um, and I think I'm proud that I've contributed with others as well in creating that impact space for entrepreneurs, and where I work mostly in emerging countries, so Latin America, parts of Africa and Asia, in supporting the ecosystem for entrepreneurship, not so much only social entrepreneurship, but broader element of small and medium-sized business. Uh, and that's happened with organizing events or sessions with civil society and private sector. So in Europe, what can you guys do in supporting and boosting entrepreneurship in developing countries? To setting up an impact investment fund focusing on Latin America, and convening governments and private sector to work together in supply chain, so to speak, in making those more sustainable. What we talked about, sugar, cotton, and coffee, and advisory programs for entrepreneurs, where I said, well, okay, what is the need from an entrepreneur in a certain sector? Is there any pro bono volunteers that can, other entrepreneurs, peer to peer, that can share their advice, their knowledge with their peer in another country? I think that was the most, those were, I don't want success, but the success so far, the where I'm proud of. And yeah, hoping to bring that's the expertise and knowledge, hoping to bring that to the Euclid network. So it's a bit of a common thread within my career, so to speak, and different elements and different learnings as well. So I never set up an impact investment fund before. Then we did. Never did a tailor-made program for entrepreneurship training. Okay, so those are elements. I think that's nice to. For me, I was curious to how does it work, and can we do that? Can I do that, and with whom? And bring that again to Euclid.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And yeah, that would be the question I was going to ask you next. And I think you already answered it a little bit, but I'll give you an opportunity to answer further. What impact do you want to make in our organization?
One is, let's say, further promote with the team the core values of the Euclid network. And what can I give to the team in terms of culture, and the spirit and drive of making the world a better place? So how do I fit in what's already there in the culture? So that, again, happy to learn and become acquainted with you all, with all the colleagues, and in general just share my knowledge and humor with the team, and encourage them to reach their personal moonshot within their work, but also the moonshot of Euclid network. What do we want to achieve in 5 years' time? Okay, that's X. How does it work for you on a personal ambition level? And how does that contribute to the overall goal and mission for the organization? If I can bring a piece to that, then I would be very happy.
That sounds incredible. Thank you so much, Pedro. I think this is it.